Hello everyone, welcome back to day 6 of our 30 days Python challenge. So far, we have learned Python basics, variables, data types, user input, and operators. Yesterday on day 5, we learned how Python can calculate and compare values. But today, we are going to do something even more interesting. We are going to make our Python programs make decisions. Think about decisions we make in everyday life. If it is raining, we take an umbrella. If we are hungry, we eat something. If the password we enter is correct, we can log in. Programming works in a very similar way. Python can check a condition and decide what code should run based on whether that condition is true or false. And we do this using three important keywords: if, else if, and else. Let's start with the if statement. An if statement tells Python if this condition is true, execute this code. For example, imagine we have a variable called age and its value is 20. We can write if age is greater than or equal to 18, print you are eligible to vote. In actual Python code, it looks like this. Age equals to 20, if age is greater than or equals to 18, print. Then, when Python runs this program, it checks is 20 greater than or equal to 18. The answer is true. So Python executes the code inside the if statement and prints you are eligible to vote. Pretty simple, right? That's one very important thing I want you to notice here. Look at the space before the print statement. This is called indentation. In Python, indentation is extremely important. The code that belongs inside an if statement must be indented. Usually we use four spaces, so this is correct. But if you write the print statement without indentation, Python will give us an error. Also notice the colon after the condition. Don't forget it. So remember, after your if condition, add a colon, move to the next line and indent the code that should run. Now we know what happens when our condition is true. But what happens when the condition is false? That's where we use else. Let's change the age to 15. Now Python asks, is 15 greater than or equal to 18? No, the condition is false, right? So Python skips the if block and executes the else block. And our output becomes you are not eligible to vote. So you can think of if and else like two different paths. If the condition is true, take the first path. Otherwise, take the second path. Let's look at a more practical example. Imagine we are creating a simple login system. We ask the user to enter password, and here we are taking input from the user using input function, which we learned earlier in this series. Then Python compares the entered password with Python 123. Notice that we are using double equals here. Double equals means we are comparing two values. If the password matches, Python prints login successful, otherwise it prints incorrect password. This is a sample example, but the same basic decision making concept is used in everywhere in programming. Now we understand if and else, but sometimes we have more than two possibilities. For that, Python gives us another keyword else if. Else if basically means, let's understand with a student grading example. Here I have declared with a marks. Here Python checks our conditions from top to bottom. First, it asks are the marks greater than or equal to 90? No. So Python moves to the next condition, are the marks are greater than or equal to 75. Here it is yes. The condition is true. So Python prints grade B. And once Python finds a matching condition, it stops checking the remaining condition in this chain. So remember this simple rule. Use if for your first condition, use else if when you have additional commitment statements, and use else for everything that doesn't match the previous condition. Now, do you remember the comparison operators we learned in day 5? We learned things like greater than, less than, greater than, equal to, double equals to, or not equals to. Today, you can see exactly why those values are so useful. Comparison operators helps us create conditions. Those conditions produce either true or false and our if else and if else statements use those to decide which code should run. So comparison creates the condition. Condition gives true or false and condition statements make the decision. Now let's combine what we have learned yesterday with what we have learned today to build a small program. We are going to create an even odd number checker. Let's understand exactly what's happening here. First, we ask the user to enter number because the input function returns a string. We convert that input to an integer. Then we use the modules operator which we learned on day 5. The modules operator gives us the reminder after decision. Let's say the user enters 10. The modules gives us 0. So Python checks is 0 equals to 0? Yes, the condition is true. So Python prints even number. Now imagine the user enters 7. 7 modules 2 gives a remainder of 1. Is equal to 0? No. The condition is false. So Python goes to the else block and prints odd number. This is a great example of how the concepts we have learning each day connect together. We have used input from day 4, we have used modules and comparison operators from day 5, and now we are using if else and else. Before we finish, here are the 3 common beginner mistakes you should remember. Don't confuse a single equal sign with double equal signs. A single sign is equals to assign a value, double means compare two values. Second, don't forget the colon after your if, else if and else. And third, always check your indentation. If there is a gap between, please comment here. Now you have completed day 6 of 30 days Python challenge. Your Python programs are no longer just storing information and performing calculations. They can now actually make decisions based on your data. Tomorrow on day 7, we are going to learn another powerful concept. Like the video, subscribe to the channel and join me for 7-day Python challenge.